Welcome to Spearfishing Down Under. Thank you so much for watching and being a part of all that we've done over the last year. We're over a year now of relaunching Spearfishing Down Under. Today, you're in for a special treat, and over the next couple of weeks, because I'm going to take you on a journey that myself and Bryson did over in Western Australia.
It's just going off right here. I just filmed 2 in a row.
This consisted of a 4-day trip that we had over in Western Australia in the lead up to a great friend of ours getting married. The first day of this trip, we actually jumped in a hire car down in Perth, drove up to Shark Bay to meet some friends of ours there. It was crazy when we arrived in Shark Bay. There was flies everywhere. Flies were so bad, they were just getting in my mouth, getting in my eyes. Once I got my gear on, I just went and laid in the water and waited for the boys to get ready and jump in with me. Now, shore diving on the East Coast can be good, but shore diving on the West Coast is just out of this world. I swam 30 meters past the breakers, and underneath me was a massive school of blue bar parrots. If those fish were on East Coast, I tell you what, everyone would be chasing those things. But WA, all the boys just swam straight over, didn't even take any notice.
Oh, you see these blue bars?
As we got out through some of the rocks, I just noticed there was heaps of bait, and this was going to be the theme of the day. Everywhere we went was incredibly fishy. Brian and I, when we got comfortable, had a dive together. I come down behind him, amazed just to see how many fish off in the distance. There was some snapper, some Spangled emperor, big maroonies swimming around us, just wild, incredible amount of fish. We knew this was going to be an amazing shore dive. Again, I swam up past another ledge, another big school of blue bar parrot. You know, here in East Coast, these are some of our favourite eating fish, and really enjoy to target them. But again, West Coast, everyone just swum on by, kept on going to find some better fish. We pulled up in an area and it looked fishy to me, and I saw a big hole in the rock below me, so I just thought I'd do a dive and just see what's in the hole. Got to the bottom, looked up into that hole, and it was just filled with lobsters. These lobsters in West Australia are really tasty, so much better eating than our East Coast lobsters. Decided I'd grab myself one of those lobsters, put my hand in, pulled him out. As I pulled him out of that hole, I lifted my head up to notice a big school of snapper just coming to check it out. Grabbed my gun, gave that lobster a little bit of a shake. His squeak just kept on attracting those snapper. Shot myself a nice snapper. First fish of the trip was a snapper and a lobster in the same dive. So cool.
To go and shoot them on the way down, they're crawling all over you.
I saw the crows hanging out. There's like 50 of them in there.
See the snapper
Oi!
on the way down?
Boo! There's a whole hole full of crows here. Heaps of them. Oi! I grabbed one. I grabbed this fella, and then as soon as I pulled him out, he's like, ring, ring, ring. All the snapper coming around me. So I'm like, ring, 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 ring. Buzz, just shoot a snapper. Swim in.
We kept moving to an area a little bit further out, a little bit deeper, that again looked really fishy. The boys that were with me were Shane and Brody Cooper. They had 2 brothers, and Brody dove in front of me and I followed him down just to see snapper everywhere. We decided, hey, we might just chum up and see if we can get some bigger snapper in.
Boo! How's all the knobbies? You missed him. This is where we need to chum, hey? There's some good fish there. Yep.
Next dive, got to the bottom, sharky mackerel come in. These are actually a really tasty fish, but they're actually amazing to chum. Shot myself a nice sharky mackerel.
I know you saw one good snapper, I saw him too.
So many snapper there.
He was a cracker.
There was like 20 snapper when we first got there.
When we started chumming, it just was incredible. There was big Spangled emperor coming through, heaps of snapper. Did a couple of dives just following snapper down, just trying to find a bigger fish. Me and Bryson were just going nuts. We couldn't believe the amount of fish that was going on in this area. Diving down, big schools of snapper, eating the chum, eating the burley. It was just crazy to see so many fish. Again, we're only 100, 150 metres off the shore.
Oh, right. Woo. Good snapper on the bottom then. Boy, really big snapper just come in there on that burley. Big fish.
After a couple of dives following snapper, those snapper got so excited they were eating the chum, they come way up near the surface. I yelled out to Bryson, dive, dive, tried to turn on my camera. Just got it on in time to see Bryson nearly from the surface shoot a really nice snapper.
I got that on camera too. Right, go again.
Another one come straight in and was eating more chum. I yelled out to Brody, quick, get down there. 2 snapper in 10 seconds from nearly the surface. This would never happen on the East Coast.
I just filmed 2 in a row.
I feel like a fisherman on plastics.
I just filmed 2 in a row.
That's insane.
How dumb are those fish? I just got that on film too, both of them.
West Coast of Australia is just so incredible. I did another dive as well, and the snapper I saw were only smaller, but I saw a really big Spangled Emperor. Over the West Coast, the boys reckon Spangleds are just as nice eating as the snapper. So I shot myself a really nice Spangled. I strung it, but unfortunately, that thing just came straight off the spear.
Did you see that? I strung that. Hey? I strung it.
Yeah. We went right through it.
I reloaded and I thought I'd just do a quick dive to see if I could see that Spangled. To my surprise, I saw it pop out from under a hole, back in, I shot it, and I managed to retrieve that Spangled. I couldn't believe it.
Just went straight in onto the Trevelyan.
I shot that. I found that Spango and shot it again.
It got stuck in the cave. Fortunately, Bri went down and pulled it out for me.
You alright? Thanks, mate.
thought it was a snapper.
Hey?
I thought it was a snapper.
Oh, right. Look where that shot went through.
I just tore it at you.
Ah.
We'll swim along a little further and we ran into a big school of bait that was spooking everywhere. So again, I had a fair idea that there was some more large predatory fish in this area. I did a quick dive to look what was underneath the cave below us. Again, packed with lobsters. Unbelievable.
That hole's stacked with crays too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We come to a spot that looked really fishy, and on the bottom I just noticed some big ball chin groper. Now, these fish aren't actually a groper, they're a tuskfish, very similar to our black spot tuskfish or Venus tuskfish. Really tasty fish. I called Brody over and said, hey Brody, dive, shoot one of those ballies. We're in such shallow water, Brody just dove down and that ballie just swum straight past him and he put a nice shot into that ballie. Landed a beautiful fish, but another one come under us, so I yelled out to Bri, get over here, really nice baldy. Bri dove, he shot himself one as well. As you can see, these fish, similar shape to all of our tuskies, but they have that real white chin, which is the reason they get called bald chin groper. Often they're not the smartest, and everyone wants to shoot one because they just taste so great. I saw a third one after the two boys had shot theirs. Unfortunately for me, that third one was a bit smarter. Bri and Brody both shot its brother right in front of it. I dove and it swam off into the distance. Crazy enough, I swam 50 metres along and I found that baldy again. He'd lost his smarts and just swam straight in front of me. And I got lucky and I got myself my first baldy for the trip. We came to a really good rock edge and it was cavey and so fishy. I did a dive and from the surface I saw a nice snapper. It wasn't quite as big as I wanted and it just spooked off in the distance. I came down late on the bottom but didn't see any bigger snapper. Called out to the boys and said, hey, we've got to dive this area. It looks so fishy. Next dive, I was heading down to the bottom and one of the boys had actually shot a trevally for chum. And as I was heading to the bottom, a bronze whaler come out of absolutely nowhere and nearly took my head off. This just spooked me. I couldn't believe it. It just came so close to me, turned off just above my head. On the camera, it's just wild to see in slow motion how close it actually came to me. I kept on just drifting to the bottom, a little bit shocked, but then I looked to my left and a big snapper was following that thing in. Turned right in front of me and I shot myself a nice big snapper. Hit the surface, screaming, "Bri, get here, you need to dive straight away." Telling the boys about what had happened with the shark.
Big AJ. Big AJ. Bryson! Hoi, snapper, big AJ's going off his head. Oh, get here, it's just going off right here. Hoi, hoi, did you see that shark?
Yeah.
Oh! Oh, just get on the bottom, snapper just went straight up to you.
What, that shark?
Hey, hey?
Get it like a thingy.
Yeah, right. He was sticky onto me.
Yeah, fuck, you can't I shot that little pinky. Yeah, that's a good snapper. I've got my little backpack on.
Boy, I nearly got eaten by a shark and then snapper just engulfed me. Oh, dude, just be careful, that shark was on me.
Bri dove and he got to the bottom and the whole school of snapper had come in as well. He shot himself a snapper. Another situation that within 1 minute we shot 2 snapper. Just so mind-boggling to see. We are so close to the shore doing a shore dive here in Western Australia. Bri and I got our snapper on the surface together, absolutely stoked. We couldn't believe what was just happening on this shore dive. We started heading back towards home because we'd shot some really cool fish and we found a bit of a cave system. I dove into one of these caves. Unbelievable labyrinth of caves, and in the back of it was a big Queensland groper. Now, I swam down to film that Queensland groper and I just noticed hanging out of its mouth was antennas from a lobster. Unfortunately, I think for that lobster, he just wasn't smart enough to escape from that big Queensland groper and he had a great meal.
See the cray coming out of his mouth? He had a mouthful of cray. That was awesome. Awesome.
We got back towards shore and I had to do the swim through the shore. Unfortunately, the swell had picked up a little bit and the tide had dropped and my swim through ended up just getting rolled across the reef. Hard when I've got lobsters attached to me and a few fish attached to me and it just was a mess. I got absolutely flogged.
I just got my ring handed to me so bad.
Now we headed back to the Coop's place for dinner that night. Now, I didn't get any video of the filleting and the packing up because we were just getting eaten alive by flies. I've never seen anything like it. And we headed back to the house. A whole bunch of boys from Shark Bay come over and we had a huge cook up, cooked up all the fish, cooked up all the crays, and watched videos till late in the morning. But the next day, we actually jumped on the boys' boat and we headed out for another 2-day trip. Don't miss out on next week, it's gonna be cool. In Shark Bay again, some incredible fish shot. Spent a day just filming each other and that's so fun when those things happen. Don't miss it, it's gonna be an incredible episode. Now let me remind you, Christmas is coming up. If you're looking for some spearfishing gear, maybe you're looking for some of our rife gear, maybe a gun, maybe wetsuit, jump into Adreno. In Adreno, use Tim Spear, and with Tim Spear, you'll get 10% discount on all of your Rife gear right there in Adreno. As well, any of the gear that you can't get from Rife, Adreno have some extra gear there. Make sure you grab some Adreno gear as well. Hey, thank you for watching. Thanks as always for liking, subscribing. Thank you for all those that are messaging me. I got some great messages over the last couple of weeks. Really appreciate you all. Hey, get in the water, get out, shoot some fish.